All right. Time out with Michael and Tony.
Hey.
How is everybody?
Good.
Good. Hey, we want to welcome you to another episode, and we are talking about social media today. We are at 1,905 listens on our Hushka app. We said that once we reach 2,000, we will give away some swag.
Yeah.
So way cool. Thank you so much for everybody checking out our swag. Later in the show, Tony's going to throw up on the comments. He's going to throw a link up to spreadshirt.com, and we will let you go there and check out our swag. We put up a new logo. Where is it at? It's somewhere up there. See it?
Right over yonder.
Yeah, somewhere over there. So we have our old logo that we had, and we now have, let me see if I can pull that up real quick for those of you watching the live stream. Old logo right there. Not necessarily old logo, but the Time Out with Michael with the words, and then we just have the logo man. So way cool to have that and available to us. And we put some new merch up there with just that. We're also working on another one because that black logo doesn't work well on black shirts. So we got to get a white one. So we're working on that. That's really good. We also have a new platform we're working on, and we will get that live quick and in a hurry as fast as we can. So, Cami, thank you so much for getting some merch down there in Oklahoma. We appreciate you doing that. We had 100 people bought merch already. That's pretty cool. Some pretty cool stuff.
That's crazy.
I know, right? So, hey, thanks to Drama City Productions for sponsoring us here and letting us do our thing in the studio. Also, a big shout out to SeatGiant.com. If you're looking for tickets, movies, events, songs, artists, all those type of things that you can get a ticket to, go ahead and go to SeatGiant.com, search for your tickets, and put in the promo code TIMEOUT, and you'll get a little bit of money off and a discount. So, awesome stuff there. Shell gas station on Bear River Drive over by Pilot and Jody's. If you go in there and mention Time Out with Michael and Tony to Arjun, he will hook you up with a free Hershey product with the purchase of anything there. So yeah, all you got to do is mention their that Time Out with Michael and Tony, and he will give you some free Hershey stuff with your purchase. So thanks to all our sponsors. We got a couple other ones in the works, and we're just waiting for them to get back with us and see how we're supposed to plug it into the show. And that's kind of how sponsorship works. We did lose a sponsor, Tony.
Did we?
Yeah. City Drug.
Oh.
I went in there and I mentioned Time Out with Michael and Tony.
Uh-huh.
I did not receive an extra 5-minute consultation, nor did they smile.
Yeah.
I did talk to the owner.
Yeah.
We're working through that process right now. I think you know a little bit about that. We talked and it was, so we're working on it. Bear with us. So tonight's episode, social media, and really this is for adults and kids alike. Okay. Yeah. This is a big issue in our family and in my world. So we're gonna dive right in. Yeah. What was the appeal you had on social media? I mean, what drew you to social media?
Originally, just the social side of it. So a long time ago, the first social media platform that I signed up for was actually Zynga.
Oh yeah,
right. It wasn't like what MySpace was or Facebook is today. No. Right. It was more of kind of like a daily journal type thing. Yeah. You know, you would just write like these blogs, and then that's where like a lot of like the upvoting and commenting and stuff like that kind of came from. But it was the fact that people were reading my stuff.
Right.
I was like, ooh, I have interaction, you know, and then later on I was into MySpace. and then into Facebook where it was like real time. Because my thing is like I would post something on Zynga, and then I would post something else on Zynga, and then I would post something else, and everyone was like, "That's not how Zynga works. You got to give people time to read your stuff." Because I would write novels, and I'm like, "Come on, people! Like this is fire."
Yeah, is Zynga still around?
Dude, I don't even know.
MySpace, I think, is still kind of around. That's where I started, was MySpace.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so cool once they finally put music on. And you could like go to the page, and while you were looking through everybody's stuff on MySpace, you could listen to the music.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with that.
I had people that paid me to make their MySpace pages look cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I was into web design and stuff like that. And so I had people, and sometimes they'd be like, "Yo, I'll buy you lunch, I'll buy you dinner for like 2 days if you like make my MySpace page look amazing." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Done. Took him like 3 minutes.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, you started off with you're more of a blogger. For me, Facebook, MySpace was just to connect with some friends and write what you were feeling, kind of like a blog.
Yeah.
And then Facebook came around, and I was sick and tired of emailing and like sending my family that were not around to look at my pictures and my family and my life. So I was sending them to like photo pages. I can't even remember what the photo pages would be now. So I thought, this Facebook thing, I'm going to join it so I can put pictures on my Facebook so my family, like in Texas and Louisiana, could all look at what was going on in my life without me saying, okay, well, I'm going to mail you a picture.
Yeah.
It'll take 3 to 5 days. And if it gets lost in the USPS postal service, you might see it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that was my big play on Facebook. Really had nothing to do with writing blogs or anything, just really sharing my family photos for my family so they could see what was going on in everyday life for me.
Sure.
And now it's blown up with a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
So what's your go-to?
What's my go-to?
Yeah, what's your go-to?
Well, sticking to my New Year's resolution, right? Like I'm definitely not on social media like I used to be.
Right.
Right. So once 2020 came, I just kind of made a resolution for myself that I would just kind of scale back. And so now, I mean, I've got like people at church I talk to on like Facebook Messenger. I don't really post much on Facebook anymore. You know what I mean? Like I'll send you memes.
I love that. I wait for your memes every day. And you have stopped a little bit, I know, because you said you wanted to dole it down.
Yeah.
And I used to get like lots, and now it's like, where's Tony at? Like this is the time Tony's usually sending me some memes and really good ones, and he's not there. But that's good. I mean, I'm proud of you. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. But other than that, I guess my go-to is more Instagram right now because it's more just pictures. And I just mainly look at like I research like body weight fitness stuff and calisthenic stuff. And because everybody that I follow, in the fitness world, they all have, cool Instagrams and they're doing crazy stuff. So that's kind of it. So my Instagram just basically has a handful of pictures of my kids and, I think my trip from New York, and that's about it.
Yeah. My Instagram used to have a ton. And then they had this one, contest where if you deleted all of your pictures except for one picture, then you were able to get entered in for this drawing. Let me see if I can find it. But anyway, I deleted most of all my Instagram stuff, so I only have like 10 pictures on there now. It's not very many. Well, maybe I have a little bit more now. Sorry, I changed it. Oh, here it is. So it was all you can jets. It was for Fun Jet, and I basically just put this picture on there. All I wanted to do was go to Disney.
Yeah.
But if you look at my Instagram, like it is, there you go, Disneyland.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that dude, sad. See, Disney. I mean, it's just nothing but Disney and like places around the world, like really cool pictures of places around the world. That's all my Instagram has in it. So as you talk about your 2020 plan, something that I do for myself is every year, and most of the people that know and follow me on Instagram, not MySpace, I got that in my brain now. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all those things, know that I turn my stuff off completely. I just turned off completely for a month, and we're a week away.
Yeah.
I do it every year for a month. And in fact, a couple of years ago, I did it for like 3 months. It was really nice, but it's for me to get away.
Yeah.
It's for me to get back to the world, to actually talk and have good conversations.
Sure.
Rather than be stuck on my social media, because I can tell you what, it is very sad to see so many people. That is like, it's an addiction.
It really is.
Like if you look at like smoking, drugs, alcohol, social media is right up there.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing that really kind of drives me crazy is when I see like young millennial parents and they are on their phones and their babies are like screaming, like they need something, like they're hungry or they're thirsty. And the parent is just like, yeah, cool. All right. Yeah. Yeah. And they're just on their phone, or a tablet or something like that drives me up the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I commend you. I think that month off of social media, I think that's a fantastic. I might even do that too. I'll have to keep the Messenger open for ministry stuff and things like that.
And I do keep the Messenger open. I did, because a lot of people, I sold a lot of, I might say I'm a salesman, so I sell a lot of things. So I leave that open to the aspect, but I'm not looking at, everybody's sad life or their happy life or all those things.
Sure.
It's open there for us to have.
Yeah.
Did you see that one there?
I did. Yeah. My brother-in-law posted, don't talk about me like that, Tony. Christian, that wasn't about you, man. I'm speaking in generalities, man.
Generalities. Hey, but I mean, in reality, it's nice for me to take a break from social media.
Yeah.
So with that being said, for those of you that are listeners and people that watch our live stream, you will not see the live stream on my page or my YouTube page. You'll only see it on Time Out with Michael YouTube and Time Out with Michael and Tony Facebook. So if you're not following those two pages, jump on, like the page, follow the YouTube channel or subscribe, and do that, because I won't be broadcasting from my social media that way. So hopefully you guys can jump on those and like that and follow that. If not, hey, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on Hushka. It'll be there. You'll be able to listen. You just probably won't be able to see the live, which, dang it, unfortunately, that's just the way it works. So, I had to say hi to my son, Riker. He's on watching it from YouTube.
Hello, Riker. Go to bed.
Silver Searle is his YouTube channel.
Silver Searle. Mm-hmm. Hey, that's a cool username, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Everything says silver in our house. It's awesome.
So speaking of kids, so I got to ask you the question, do you agree or disagree with the use of social media by kids?
Disagree. Hard. That is a hard, capital, bold, italic, underline, whatever you can do to that thing. Slam it in your face. No.
Yeah.
The damage that social media does to our kids, their brains are not mature enough to understand this. We had a guy come to Evanston and talk about the effects of social media.
Yep.
And it was mind blowing. Like, I thought I knew some stuff about it, and I still was. I mean, even before this guy came, I was like, nope, you're not getting any social media to my two boys. No, absolutely not. Yeah. My son is 12. My youngest son is 9. And I'm just telling you right now, folks, you don't like what I have to say, I'm sorry. My kids are going to grow up just as good, and I'm sure your kids will too. But I'm just telling you right now, I don't care what my kids beg me or promise me or do whatever. They will not get social media, meaning Facebook Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp. There's plenty more.
Yeah.
They will not be a part of that until they are A, out of my house, B, 18, C, pay for their own stuff, or all three. I mean, I'm just not going to do that. Christian, I consider YouTube a form of social media, or do I? Sorry. In a regards, yes and no. I don't think that I would consider YouTube social media. I think it's more of a watching platform, like I don't know. It's getting more close to that. So,
What's that say?
I'd say I'd say YouTube becomes a social media the second your kid makes an account.
I mean, potentially, right? For me, I look at YouTube as a social platform because of the content that most, like, speaking just in terms of youth, right? Like kids, like young teens, down to, youngers. They're watching a lot of stuff like the We Plays and things like that. And the comment section, I mean, it really does. There's a lot of social interaction that exists there.
Right.
And things like that. Like, I know that, I mean, we're all really careful over the things that our kids watch and things like that. I let my kids watch videos on YouTube and stuff like that. But we monitor everything.
Yeah, my boys' YouTube account is monitored and doled down to the dumbest you can think of.
Sure.
I mean, it pings my phone the second that he has done something out of line.
Yeah.
Now, to that being said, things have gotten through, and we have to go in there and change the algorithm, whatever you want to call it, and have fixed some of those things. But it is very, very, very monitored.
Yeah.
I think my boy watches mainly people building Minecraft stuff.
Sure.
I honestly don't think my son Riker and or even Brooks ever watches on YouTube is highlights of the NBA.
Sure.
And I've seen all of that.
Yeah.
And again, it's all very monitored. Apple has a great platform for you to be able to monitor a ton of things, and especially time as well, that they can spend on said apps.
Yeah.
But like Riker, you guys, I see that you talk about the comment section in YouTube, and I don't see Riker looking at the comment section at all. And a lot of the things that myself and my wife and Riker do watch that do have comments, like we watch a couple Josh and Becky Midlife Vibes. Shout out to those guys for helping me out on a bunch of things. And they have moderators that watch people. I mean, YouTube's pretty bad for like spammers and people coming in, and they monitor that really good as their mods on there kick people off that say bad things, and they delete the comments really fast.
Yeah.
So again, I do monitor that, and now I feel stupid because I said I would never let my kids do social media, but then
understand,
I allow YouTube, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, understand, my wife and I are in the same canoe, right? We will not allow our kids to have a digital footprint. Period.
Yeah.
Period. If when they're working and they get a cell phone and they're paying for these things, we can have that discussion. But I am not a fan of kids having a digital footprint because there's so much stuff that they can be exposed to so early on. And not only that, but there's certain platforms now too that have chat programs that are more geared towards the use by kids.
Yeah.
And I am not a fan of that. My nephew has been sending my wife like Facebook messages and stuff. And I love my nephew to death. However, I have a very hard time with young kids having a digital footprint at a very early age, because all it takes is one click, and they're exposed to some heavy stuff, whether that be actual actual like imagery, content, or a comment section, or different things. What do you say? Like kids Facebook Messenger. Yeah, I would encourage every single parent out there. I mean, if you've got little kids, this is coming from a programmer, a software engineer, right? Like, I mean, I would say to any parent with younger kids, I would say, do not let them use social media. If the thinking behind the use of social media is so that they can contact family or stay in touch with family, I get that discussion. However, anytime my kids want to talk to one of their grandparents, we FaceTime. Or we do like a Facebook video, and we say, here, stream your grandma. And that's great. I don't like, there's so many dangers out there. Everything from, the many cases around the grooming of young kids online, to trafficking. I mean, you name it, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, kids have been approached on different social media platforms by some creeper adult sitting somewhere in some basement that's like, hey, we should meet up. And that kid's gone forever.
Yeah.
There's so many things that can happen just from these platforms, and like you, I let my kids watch YouTube, and I'll sit there and I'll watch how they do it. Right. Mm-hmm. And because they have like kids YouTube on their tablets that they use for school. Mm-hmm. But then on our TV, we have Apple TV, and they'll go to the YouTube app and they'll watch like Good Mythical Morning, and they'll watch different things. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever seen any one of my kids scroll down to the comment section on the TV.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, my kids are so like, I'm halfway through a show and I just need to change it and watch something else.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not worried. Like I said, Riker's not worried about the comments.
Yeah.
He's not worried about the chat, which is, I mean, at that point, if he's in there chatting, end game, stop, never again. Again with, for us, Apple, the Apple podcast or the Apple platform, we gave them both iTunes accounts, but their kids' iTunes accounts, like,
yeah,
they can't even go and, like, when they search for like Netflix, mm-hmm. it does not allow them to download that on their phone or their iPad because it's not available to kids 13 and under.
Right.
I mean, it won't even let you. You can't even. You can search for Netflix, and you hit search, Netflix search. It doesn't. It like says not found.
Right.
Because it's not allowed. So that's something that I love about Apple that allows me to do that. There's a lot less getting into bad things with that. That's good for me. Also, I can put a time limit on every single app. It's called Screen Time. Apple just came out with this.
Yeah.
And I'm able to say, oh, sorry, you've been on, Safari, or you've been on Minecraft for 2 hours, and your time is up. And then they have to physically press a button and say, I want more time. And then it pings my phone. Riker wants more time on Minecraft. Will you give it to him? 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? It's Saturday. I'll let him have all day. So I do allow that. The reason we really gave Riker a YouTube account was because I was so distraught about every time I go to my YouTube account, I had Minecraft and all this kid stuff on my YouTube account, which I'm trying to search for, like Fail Army and goofy stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't want him watching some of the things that I watched on YouTube. Of course, now my YouTube just pretty much consists of Disney stuff and Fail Army. That's all that's there.
I understand.
But I just didn't want him, all of his, because it kept recommending all these video games. That's the thing. We talked about video games, kids watching video games instead of playing them. Mm-hmm. I thought, well, okay, we're going to create an account for him so he can do this. So I don't have to see that. That was really my main reason for giving him a YouTube account.
Yeah.
And he kind of wanted to be a YouTuber because he saw that kid that was like 9 or 7 or 8, and he
Mhm.
was like playing with the toy. And now this kid makes millions because all he does is buy a toy, open it up, play with it, give her, and he doesn't really give her a review. He just plays with it. Said, "This is really cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. See you next time." And then he has 10 more toys in front of him. Like, whoa. So Riker's like, "I want to do that." And he doesn't do it. He
Yeah.
just watches time and time.
Right. Yeah. What was it like last year, the year before? Like the number one revenue generating YouTube channel was that lady that just opened like the eggshell
Ryan's
toys.
World. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like she just opened the eggshell type toys.
The
And
LOLs.
I don't even know what
Yeah.
the heck they were, but she opened them and she was like, "Oh, look at this thing. Oh, it's so cute." And then she just opened the next one, and then she collected like a $3 million check like every month. Like, what? Like,
Right.
that's crazy.
Right.
But
So, I mean, there is some definite things. I want to talk quickly. We're just going to run through a couple platforms. I'm going to throw them up here.
yeah,
And okay, so here's the thing: Facebook.
Yeah.
For everybody that understands Facebook, this is, you know, what I've seen with Facebook lately is that when it started out, it was more about a picture, Facebook, a book of faces. That's what it
Mhm.
started out with, and then you wrote a few things on there, and now it's turned into like your spam email box.
Sure.
Like nothing but if you eat 7 fortune cookies and drink 5 diet sodas, you will get good luck for 10 years.
Yeah.
And here it is. Everybody's clicking on it and sharing it. And
I hate that side of Facebook.
Uh-huh.
I hate
For
it.
sure.
I don't even look at my Facebook around like presidential election time because like half my friends are on the left, the other half of my friends are on the right. And I'm just looking at both sides like, you guys, come on. Like it's
Stop.
exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I know they have kids. I know they have Messenger. It's a lot of spam. A lot of hackers can get into Facebook. It has been scrutinized beyond belief.
Sure.
Their algorithms were really bad. A lot of people's accounts got hacked. They still get hacked. I mean, I still get people, you know, popping up, "Hey, I want you to friend me," and they have one picture, one friend, and it looks like some supermodel.
Yeah.
Supermodel dude too.
I used to get all these programming things because I was part of like these programming groups, and I would always get like their people's personal spam bots that would just basically be like, "Hey, look at my cool projects I built in artificial intelligence, and look at these different things. Hey, check out these algorithms I wrote on a blackboard." And it's like, I don't care.
Right.
Like, I used to get so many, and I left all those groups, and I don't get them anymore.
Now, do you think it's really true out there? Like, I'm sure me and you're going to be talking about some things,
Sure.
and we're going to go on to our Facebook later, and we're going to scroll through it, and all of those things are going to be there.
Heck yes.
Like, isn't that so creepy?
It is.
Very creepy to me. I think
It is.
you talk about, you know, I'm going to talk about on my phone. We're going to talk about Harry Potter and all of the cool things, and then all of a sudden, Harry Potter starts showing up on my phone. Like, what?
Yeah.
This is weird.
So this is a common thing, and people ask me this all the time, right? Because you have to understand how Google AdWords and these other AdSense type systems work. So Google collects all of your search history, right? And
Mhm.
in Google's eyes, you have a profile.
Yeah.
Right? Google knows what type of stuff you like perusing. Google knows the profiles of your friends, right? And knows the things that you would typically like. So now, even Facebook, when you go to Facebook, what's displayed on that wall is the top content that would appeal to you the most.
Yeah.
Because of that profile, right? They have like a usage
Mhm.
profile. And so there have been times when like people like, especially like, you know, like the older crowd, right? They'll Google like, you know, shoes, and then they'll go to their Facebook and there'll be all these ads for shoes, and they're like, "Oh, Big Brother's watching me." And it's like, no, that's how it works. Like, right? It's how it works. So don't freak out when that stuff happens. Just understand that, you know, Google just kind of has information on everyone, and they just want to advertise their affiliates to you the best that they can.
Right.
What did my wife say? I have a hard time with Instagram. I feel like it's so toxic to everyone who browses. It sets unreal expectations for all areas of life, from relationships to lifestyles to friendships. It's toxic. I think that could be said for most social medias, period.
Yeah, I don't think I think Kayla's right. I mean, it's there, but I think you boom hit it on the head. It is for most social media.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp, YouTube. What
Yeah.
else is out there? Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, all of those things.
Yeah.
So going into Instagram, I mean, your appeal
Yeah.
to Instagram. I mean, my appeal to Instagram is, like you said, I feel like there's less drama. You can't type a whole, I mean, you can type a whole thing into
Sure.
Instagram, but I think it's more picture based. You're looking
It
at
is.
pictures and a story, I guess, or a video.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that content again. They do say, so this is, as far as what we want to grab in our audience, when I'm posting on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram for our page, Time Out with Michael and Tony, and trying to get people to listen, they say that you get a 33% more response rate with a picture
Mhm.
and a 78 more response rate with a video.
Yeah.
So when you're adding those, I mean, think about it when you're going into Facebook, what is it called now? Where you go sell things.
The marketplace?
Yeah, the marketplace. Like when
Yeah.
you go there and you go to your groups and you're looking to sell things in Facebook and all of those places, do you scroll through pretty much like just comments and words? You're looking for a picture. Like, I want to see the chair that you're selling.
Yeah.
I want to see the bike that you're selling.
Yeah.
I don't want you to just tell me I have a chair for sale. It looks really good. Thanks.
Right.
Like, you want to see a picture.
Yeah.
So I understood that. So again, my appeal to Instagram automatically jumps to pictures and videos.
Yeah.
And I agree, Kayla. I mean, it does set unrealistic expectations for people, because you're like looking at somebody's life. Nobody posts anything like, I'm just saying, and this is probably way off in left field, but like, you don't see the wife posting a picture of her beat up after
Sure.
husband came home drunk and was mad,
Yeah.
or vice versa. Husband posts a
Yeah.
picture of wife kicking his butt. They just don't do I mean, so there is some, you have your social media life,
Yeah.
and you have your life.
Well, and see, there's actual psychological disorders that actually are stemming from that, right? So the thing with social media is that so many people are posting this faux lifestyle, right, to give the appeal or the impression that, hey, my life is so cool. Look at me. I'm on the beach all the time. I'm doing this all the time. I'm doing all these different things. And other people are looking at that going, wow, they have such a great life. Why can't I be that happy?
Yeah.
And it's actually creating psychological disorders.
Bad stuff. You had something
Bad
pulled up
stuff.
on that, right?
On which thing?
On how that affects you psychologically.
Oh,
right?
yeah. So here,
Are we skipping too far now?
no, we can talk about it.
Okay.
We can talk about it and skip over it later. So here over the past year, there have been three things that secular psychologists have actually viewed and studied and determined are the three main catalysts for the explosion of anxiety and depression in our culture. The first one is the pace in which we live our lives, right? There's information around every corner. I mean, I can literally pull up any bit of information I could ever imagine or think of in the palm of my hand. Technology is constantly changing, and with that, the way that a lot of businesses are marketing things, everything's marketed to, hey, you have last year's model that is old and broken. You need to get rid of, the old and busted and go for the new hotness, right? And so there's this constant progression that emotionally and mentally a lot of people can't handle, going forward, right? So that's the first one, the pace in which we live our lives. The second one is moral relativism, right? So you have this big group of people that are basically living their life, and what moral relativism says or dictates is that there's no moral objective or there's no real reason or purpose for why we live this life anyways. So there's a lot of anxiety and depression because you got people walking around basically saying, I'm alive and I got no reason to be,
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, what's the purpose? Well, what's the point? And the third thing is that because of how our culture is now, there's a lot of people that we as a culture, we have a very hard time connecting with individuals on a face-to-face or a social level, right?
Mhm.
And so what's happening emotionally to many people is now people are kind of on this isolated island of feelings and emotion, and people who are sitting in the same room would rather text message somebody sitting 6 feet from them rather than to have an open, honest conversation. And so now you have a people group that has a very difficult time, having community, having a healthy community, and interacting with individuals on a more in-depth emotional level, because there's so much mistrust and there's so much isolation in feelings that they're not really sure what to do.
Well, think about it, and this is the best analogy I can ever come up with, and I always use my deaf friend Michael Bullocks with this.
Yeah.
If you were to flip him off,
Sure.
and we all know what the bird means.
Yeah.
The big FU. A lot of times you're, within your friends in your circle, you can give somebody the bird and be like, yeah, I love, I'm just messing with you. You're giving that, but he can't hear the context. He can't hear the conviction when you say those words.
Yeah.
And so when you're texting, when you're chatting, you can't convey that context. So you can't hear the conviction in somebody's voice when they say, I'm going to kick your butt.
Right.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to kick your butt, man. There's two different ways. So when these kids are getting bullied, within messaging, within the chats, within, like, even for me, like when I go play online video games and this 10-year-old's like beating me up because I'm a dork and I don't know how to play a first person shooter game as well as he does, because he's been on for 13 hours and I've only played like 30 minutes. And I'm just getting warmed up. Like, he's sitting there just like beating me up. And then because of the missed social interaction between human beings, we're missing that. And then they get their feelings hurt like really bad. Like, oh, he's, calling me a dork and a jerk and I can't stand this one. It's like, you know what? The guy called me a jerk and I'm going to punch him in the face. And then he's going to call me a jerk. I know that's not the way, but
sure,
we're missing that. And that's one thing that is really scary right now also, is that when you are on these platforms, people are really bullying you and they're making you feel horrible.
Sure.
And these kids, even adults, are taking it so literal.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, you don't like me? Like, my whole world has ended. Wait a minute. So then I've seen it in some kids where they say, I'm dropping it. Stop. You don't know what's going on. Stop butting into my life. But they're on social media this whole time, whether it be Instagram, Snapchat, or Facebook. And those are the main ones that I can really think of, that their whole life is revolved around this. And they just can't get away from, well, Bobby's having a great time, but he's calling me a jerk and I can't get over that. Why am I not having a good time? Is it because I'm a jerk?
Right.
I mean, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
And it's with adults too. Like, they lose their ever loving mind because you're a jerk to me. I'm deleting you and I'm blocking you on social media.
Right.
Take that. Like, really?
Yeah.
Well, how about you come talk to me face to face about your problems?
Sure.
Like, that's me. I'm old school, I guess.
Yeah, no, I am too. Yeah, no, it's, and I always go back to that bit that I saw from Louis C.K. and his whole thing was centered around that. He was like, you've got these kids sitting in their mom's basement. Well, no, he starts it off saying, you're on the playground and you say something to somebody and, you're stupid. And that kid cries and their feelings are hurt. And you go, oh, I don't like that feeling. I don't like that, because you can not only feel their feeling, you know what I mean, but your emotions allow you to form a sense of remorse for that person, right? But then, you have this kid sitting in his mom's basement and he says something, hey, you're stupid. And that person mocks him back and they feel empowered by that, that interaction that has zero consequence, so now you have these people and individuals that just feel like they can say whatever they want whenever they want to without any repercussions. I mean, I saw a kid one time who was a prime case of this. He ran up to some dude and cussed this dude out. The guy turned around and knocked his block off, and the kid, I say kid, but I mean, he was like later teens, early 20s, just laid on the ground and just cried, like, no, how dare you hit me after I said something so mean and terrible to you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not used to the consequence, and so.
Sorry, I was just checking. We might have had a glitch. Sorry.
We had a glitch.
We had a glitch. Michael was being dumb. I was looking up actually a guy, Colin Karchner. He came, and as we talk about the bullying and all these things, child use, he came and talked to everybody here in Evanston about the effects of social media, the suicide rates, the things that are bad that's out there. If you guys haven't checked this guy out, go check him out on Facebook as we talk about social media. He also, for those parents that are watching or listening out here and might want to get a idea of how bad tablets and phones and TVs, not necessarily TV. Sorry, I kind of got a dry throat there. Whoa.
Getting all choked up. Is a heavy topic.
I am.
Yeah.
He has a book. He endorsed a book out there called Glow Kids, and we got it. We read it. We had our kids read it, and it changes your perspective on things, like the blue light of a phone and a tablet, which keeps your mind going and keeps you up. Why your kids are not getting enough sleep, why you're not getting enough sleep because of that blue light that's in a phone and a tablet that keeps your mind stimulated. It destroys the melatonin, and it doesn't destroy it, but it dulls it down, which it helps you go to sleep. Yeah. This guy was really good. I was like, I love everything that you're saying, and I wanted to start a petition in Evanston, Wyoming that banned kids from taking their cell phones to school.
Yeah.
Please tell me why this is okay. Like I see people that are like within businesses, and they're looking at their Snapchats and they're looking at their Facebook, because now you can do timelines on your Facebook and you can do timelines on your Instagram, which is all kind of about the same as, what do I want to say? Help me out. As the same as Snapchat, kind of that video platform where you're watching the video, and there's kids within classrooms using their phones like for this, like when they should be learning.
Sure.
It blows my mind. Like, how is that? Like my boys, they put their phone in their backpack and it goes in there. And I swear, if I ever heard or caught them that they are using their phone within school, I mean, it's gone. I'll snap that thing in half, and sorry, I'll pay for the rest of it to be snapped in half. I don't care. Like you're there to learn. Yeah. How do you let your kid take your? I know you're going to be mad at me, but whatever. I'm not worried about that. Why do you let your kid take their phone to school and play on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat during school time? Tell me why that's okay. Prove me wrong that it's okay that your kid can do that. Like, I don't get that. And what I get, the argument that I get all the time, well, I need my kid to get a hold of me in case there's an emergency. Guess what? They have phones in the office. How did you survive? How did you call your parents when you knocked the kid's tooth out or you peed all over your pants because you had an accident? I mean, you went to the office and they called your parents at work or at home and they got a hold of you.
Or they just didn't survive.
There were some kids lost. But that's something that really bugs me.
Yeah.
My kids pretty much know where I stand too, though, with the whole social media thing.
Yeah.
And they pretty much stop asking. They don't ask anymore. As far as, hey, can I have Facebook? Can I have Snapchat? No, I like Snapchat and the fun filters. I tried to play the streaks, and the streaks are going away. I mean, sorry everybody that I have with Snapchat with streaks. They're going away in February.
What is streaks?
So like if you
Snapchat streaks.
Yeah, Snapchat
Okay.
streaks. So if you snap a person a picture,
Yeah.
or basically all it is now is you're snapping a picture of some like pretty much random. Like so I just snap a picture of the wall or the ceiling or the floor, coffee mug, sometimes it's a face, with a filter on it, and then you have like little things you can put on there. And if you snap each other, if each person snaps each other for a day, then they're a day. And then when you get to 3, you get a little fire flame, and then you get to 100, you get like the 100 sign with the 3 lines on it. It's goofy, weird.
They should monetize that.
Oh man, you would think.
And then people would just be like streaking it up. Like, what are you doing? I'm just maintaining streaks. Leave me alone.
I'm surprised that Snapchat, like, because with YouTube, the more people you have, more views you have, then you can start gaining money.
Yeah.
Twitch has that. I'm surprised that, like, I mean, even Facebook and Instagram followers that have so many people, I think Instagram more and Twitter more, they pay those people.
Well, they do. Yeah. It's all through their marketing platform.
Yeah. But why is maybe Snapchat does have that? I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
Christian says school is a joke to teens nowadays. It's nothing like it was back in the early 2000s. I mean, even you can even go further, Christian. I mean, it's
1610.
Horrible that we let our students. I'm just saying that right to the. Look at me right now. If you're on the school district and you're part of the school district, I think it is horrible that you allow our students to take cell phones into your school while they're learning.
Preach.
There is no reason they need to have those cell phones. Like, what you should do, and maybe I should do it. Maybe I should go invent some lockers, and everybody can put their cell phones in the lockers.
Well, see, I wish. Go ahead. I mean, cut you off.
I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand why we think that our kids need to have a freaking cell phone at school. Now, if there was if they weren't smartphones, like they used to be the flip phone, and all you could do was dial, even, less the text message too.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. Okay. I'll jump on board with you folks that you want to get a hold of your kid or whatever, but again, there's a phone in the office and in every classroom. It's not like you can't get a hold of somebody. That's what blows my mind. But
yeah,
there
are places where they actually suppress the cellular signal. They have suppressors out there, so it basically turns the room that you're in into a dark room. I've been in one. I worked up at Microsoft, and I was in a dark room, and it was crazy because I walked in and my phone died. And I was like, what in the world? And I went, yeah, you can't. There's no cell phone in here. And so
it'd be awesome if we could get that.
Yeah. I think in a lot of places, I think it'd be beneficial. I think the kids would have like an aneurysm because, they're not powered by the data on their phone, but
it'd actually be a kid.
Oh, my phone's disconnected. How will I live? I won't.
That's another thing that really, really gets me too. I'm going to go off on a tangent real quick.
Yeah.
Movies. When you go into a movie theater.
Oh yeah.
And somebody has their cell phone on, especially kids. Yeah. Kids.
Yeah.
Teenagers. They can't get off their phone for 5 minutes to watch a freaking movie.
I want to go see a movie with you because every single time, let's do that. Let's find like the next like Star Wars type movie or something like that. And we'll stream from the
Carrie.
From the theater.
Carrie, are you watching? Tell Tony what I'm like when somebody has their cell phone on during a movie. I'm a jerk.
I've heard stories and I want to see it.
I am
with my
very,
eyes.
very rude. You got your cell phone in there, I'm going to make you look like a fool. Because if you can't stop for 2 hours on your phone to come watch a movie, don't come to the movie theater. Don't even think about coming to the movie theater with me around. And guess what, people? I go to all the movies.
Yeah, all of them
every week.
Yeah,
I'm there.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that there's been some people that don't like No, Kayla. Now, okay. Well, let me go on this. Okay, so Kayla puts, I have my cell phone on and text my babysitters.
Yeah.
I have no problem with the parents that have a babysitter that need to have their phone with them. But if your phone goes off, it better be on vibrate. And if it's your babysitter calling, get up, go to the back of the theater, and text your babysitter.
Yeah.
If you got to call them and talk to them, go out the theater and have the conversation. I get that. I understand that.
Let the record show that is what we do.
Okay. All right. Okay. But I'm just saying, if you're on there and you're Facebooking and you're Snapchatting, I'm going to make you look like such a, I can't use the colorful words. We're a family show.
Michael's gonna eat your popcorn.
You can't even see how red I'm getting when I think about that. And like I said, Carrie knows. She's actually really embarrassed. No, you will not text from your seat, or you will be embarrassed. And she's like, "Oh, you can't embarrass me." Oh, I will. I'll ruin everybody's movie.
Yeah, we got to go see a movie together.
It'd be fun.
So we talked about some personal goals, right? We talked about time limits. We talked about regular breaks, and things. And I think these are healthy things to do, right? But here is what happens, because I've taken like 2-3 breaks or so from social media, right? And this is what happens every single time when I do it, right? Because my circle of friends, if you unfriend somebody, or if you unfriend somebody, or you just don't post anything for a little bit, people freak out. People freak out. I've had people that are like, they'll say, "Hey, I noticed you unfriended me. What's going on?" And it's like, we haven't talked in 2 years. Like, what? This is Facebook. Like, it's the same thing. Like in real life. Like, I don't live in the area that I grew up, but no one's freaking out that I live in Wyoming now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when they heard I was moving to Wyoming, they were like, "Wait, really? Wow, you're such a city boy. You're going to survive in Wyoming?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then I moved here, but no one freaked out. But the moment that people start freaking out is when I remove them from social media, And so, yeah, people have a hard time. And I think that even for us personally, just us in this room and everyone listening, or watching right now, I think social media is a fantastic invention. I think it's fantastic. I think we're doing it wrong, right? Because our lives are now based upon social media. I mean, the biggest complaint, and man, I wanted to smack these kids. I heard these kids a little while ago over at the store, and they were talking over here, and somebody was like, "Oh, they're redoing something at our house, and our internet's been down for 3 hours, and we're so stinking bored. I don't even know what to do with my life." And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?
Real?
Like, understand, like for Christmas, our kids are homeschooled, right? And so we got them for Christmas. We got them tablets, and we loaded a bunch of educational things on there, so they could do their multiplication tables and all these things. But we out of the kindness of our hearts, against everything we've kind of evangelized in our home for the longest time, we were kind of like, well, let's load up a couple games. Let's let them play. Nothing on a social platform type thing or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But let's just load this up. And my kids, within just a week, 2 weeks, they changed. My kids changed. And my wife and I just said, "You know what? Forget that noise. Delete." Because they just got so consumed by everything that was going on, because they had kids YouTube and they had games and they had these different things. I mean, there's a reason why we don't have any video game consoles in my house. We have none, right? We do not have a family computer in my house. We make our kids read books. We make our kids, we're reading The Hatchet right now as a family.
I love that book.
I love that book. Shout out to Hatchet. Not a sponsor, but man, I wish it was. Right. Hatchet.
Who wrote Hatchet?
I don't know.
Jack London? Or was that The Call of the Wild? There was Jack London. Can't remember. That's a great book.
That is a fantastic book.
What backfired, Kayla?
But
that you tried to be gangster and tough. I know I'm cutting you off real quick,
No,
Tony,
you're
but she's
fine.
like, especially when I have a babysitter texting me 50 times, it's easier to text 50 times and get up 50 times. Guess what, Kayla? Sit in the back. Sit in the back and you won't disturb no one. Done. Gary Paulson.
Gary
There we
Paulson.
go. Thanks, Kayla.
Yeah, I think she was saying it backfired in regards to the games that
Oh,
we put
yeah.
on the tablet.
Yeah. But so did your
because it
gangsters.
did. Because it did, you know. And you know, we have our own convictions over it. You know, like we want our kids to experience life and understand what life is about rather than just be absorbed, you know, in video games and devices and all these different things. My oldest son all the time goes, "Dad, when can I get a computer?"
Oh, Kayla.
What happened?
Should I show you? Look what she put up there.
Oh,
You see what she?
I did
says?
see that. Don't put that up.
I'm not putting it out here. Hold on, Kayla. Just don't stop typing, Kayla. Stop. There we go.
Block user.
No, block user. I deleted your comment. Okay, Kayla.
Yeah. But anyways, but we want our kids to experience life, right? You know, outside of just being absorbed in technology. Perfect example. My oldest son is in wrestling, and I took I took Jeremiah, my younger son, with me because I sat there and watched Kavika wrestle and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a little boy that came over to Jeremiah, and he goes, "Hey, do you want to wrestle?" And Germs goes, "Yeah, sure, would love to." And this kid body slammed Germs on the ground and hurt him. And I said nothing because he needed to know what that, because he in his mind he's doing wrestling next season.
Yeah.
But he needed to know what that slam felt like. It hurt him, knocked the wind out of him a little bit, you know, and everything. And he sat there and he cried a little bit. And I was like, "Get up and come here," you know. And for everyone on Facebook, there's some craziness happening right now. People dropping bombs left and right who are married to me.
Wow. Well,
but anyways, but I think there's something very special and very important about having kids experience life outside of devices, outside of technology, outside of social media, period. You know?
mm-hmm.
So
time limits, regular breaks, and things like that. Folks, try it.
Yeah.
Try it. My wife has like doubled her life expectancy, I think, in happiness because she has put a limit to her social media stuff on her phone. Her phone allows her to put a time limit on the apps that she uses. And it is so cool because you can see that she is much happier now that she's not dulled into looking that. We listen to a couple podcasters that talk about taking the first 30 minutes of your morning and not even picking your phone up.
Sure.
Take the time for you, you know, exercise, drink coffee, talk with your spouse, talk with yourself. I mean, read a book, you know,
book.
Boom.
Reading Rainbow.
Just do something else besides pick up that phone right away. I try so hard not to pick my phone up right away, but I get a ton of emails early in the morning and here they come. And, you know, sometimes they are important and needed, but I try really hard in the morning. That's why I wake up a little earlier so I can get up and enjoy my morning without social media, without a phone, without any of that wild stuff.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, February 1st, it's coming in a couple days. Is it a couple days? Yeah.
3-4 days.
Yeah. Boom. I love it.
You know what I want to do? I want to do this, and we didn't even talk about this or discuss it. I want to issue a social media break challenge for everybody listening. Now, granted, we stream on a social media platform.
We do.
So make sure you are following Time Out with Michael and Tony, and then you can see, you know, our stream, you know, and you can always download the podcast and listen to that, you know, from week to week. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I want to issue this challenge to all of our listeners through the month of February. No social media except to listen and watch to our stream here. That's it. Yeah. I'm going to take that challenge.
Caleb, 9 hours and 26 minutes for my screen time. but you have to understand that my phone is used for work as well.
Mhm.
So I have a lot of emails that I'm pulling. I have a lot of how do I put this? Like today, we're working on a sale for Super Bowl for all the stores, and I'm working on pricing and margins and markups and breakdowns like that. So huge. What about Messenger?
I'm going to keep my Messenger.
No, we'll keep our Messenger.
Yeah.
I usually keep my Messenger up just because people contact me through that, and Tony's got to send me memes. I can't
Yeah.
can't not
Fair
have that up.
But there won't be hardly any memes unless I'm like Googling memes.
So
send you.
hey, get look at yourself in the mirror tonight, tomorrow, whenever you're hearing this, listening to this, watching this. Take a look and say, can I do this? Try it for a week. See if you can, and not do it for a week.
Yeah.
Turn all your social media off. Delete it from your phone.
Yep.
Delete it from your computer. Delete it from your iPad. Whatever format you have to look at social media, delete it. Sign it out. You can go into Instagram, into Facebook, into Snapchat, into Twitter, and you can deactivate all of your accounts without deleting them. You can deactivate them for an indefinite time, and then you can come back, and once you sign in, it's right back there. You can do that. Try it for a week. I mean, I do it for a month, and I love it. Like I get so much stuff. My wife loves February because Michael gets so much done in February because I'm not on social media. The only hard thing that I guess I have is that a lot of my passwords are linked to Facebook and stuff. So when I click on it, I have to remember my real password.
It's Tony is cool with a K.
Oh, now I got to go change my password.
Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Exactly.
It's on my luggage too. That was a movie plug.
Yeah.
So anyway, give it a try.
Yeah.
I like Tony said, he wants to challenge you guys. Turn your social media off. Let's see how you can do this. Again, we stream socially, so check out Time Out with Michael and Tony on Facebook and like it so you can see our live if you want to do that. If not, go download the podcast. You can listen to it. It's not like you can't hear it there. YouTube, same thing. Time Out with Michael. Subscribe. Do that. We love it. Anything else?
I think we're good, man. I think we covered everything.
Hey, thanks for listening. Again, if we get to 2,000 likes, we will put everybody that is a member, I guess, in the Facebook Time Out with Michael and Tony Facebook page. If you are a member in there, we will do, it's called random.org. We'll put everybody in there. We'll spin that thing 7 times, and whoever gets picked on that will get some free swag from us.
Yeah.
From our page. Tony put the link in.
I did. It's at the top. I'll post it again.
He'll post it again. And you can go get some swag there. Thanks to Drama City Productions. Thanks to SeatGiant.com. Thank you to Arjun over at the Shell gas station on Bear River Drive. Am I forgetting anybody? I am forgetting somebody.
Random thanks to Bill Gates.
Huge shout out to Kayla. Thank you so much for working so hard on our logos.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. I know it's a lot of time. We have had so many people contact us and love the logo.
Yes.
And it is every bit freehand.
Can I plug my wife real quick?
Absolutely. Plug her.
So my wife is a fantastic artist. So if you need any type of painting or drawing or anything, my wife did our logo. She does merch. She does all these different things. So anyways, yeah, I forget she has a Facebook page.
Kayla's Crafts.
It's not Kayla's Crafts. I think it's like Designs by Kayla or something like that.
Hey, thanks, David, for liking our stuff. David's got some stuff on Drama City Productions. We still haven't heard about it from Ben. Ben has not let us know, David. I know. Hope you're safe down there in Australia.
I can't do an Australian accent. Sorry,
I was told not to anymore.
Sorry, I tried just now, but that was culturally insensitive.
So Tony plugged his wife for her doing some stuff, but I'm going to put it out there. She still has one project left to take care of before you get your stuff. Kayla, thank you. No, but serious. I've had a lot of people that are graphic designers that have messaged me personally and said, "Man, where'd you get your logo? Who did that?" And I'm like, "Secrets."
Yeah. Oh,
Kind
secret's out.
Oh, secret's out now.
Dang it.
Kayla does it.
Yeah, it's my wife.
But it's really cool. I mean, we worked tirelessly on trying to figure this out,
Yeah.
getting it right. I was in Disneyland too, and she was like giving me all these ideas. I'm like, nope, yep, nope, yep, and
Yep.
yeah, Kayla, your inbox is about to get full.
Yeah. She drew that by hand.
Yeah,
I don't even understand. That's not my world, man. I don't understand.
can't even do a stick figure correctly.
I tried to draw an eyeball a month and a half ago. And I did like a YouTube tutorial because I was like, I can be good at this too. And I tried doing an eye, and I literally made the top of the eye and went, yeah, forget that.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Can I type the eye?
Yeah, exactly.
Again, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We are Time Out with Michael and Tony. We're on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast Play, however you want to go there, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Hushka. There's so many out there. Type us in Google. You'll find us.
Yeah.
You'll find the podcast. Thanks again, everybody, and we will talk to you later.
Goodbye.
This is the weird part.
This is the weird part. Stop looking at us.
Stop.
Bye-bye.